everybody, God bless. So I had this dream like a week or two ago. So what happened was there was this family. So we have a dad, a mom, an older son, and a younger daughter. So I could feel what they were feeling, but it wasn't revealed to me in the dream just yet why they were feeling this way. So the mom, she was super worried, like so worried, looked like she wanted to cry. And then the son, the older son, he was also worried. So both of them were just like super worried. And then the dad, he was just bummed out, like, man, it sucks. Dang. And the little girl, she was just a little girl. She was just a child. Like, she had this carefree, like, she didn't understand, like, they were being persecuted, but she was just so carefree. And what happened was I saw my house that I live in now. I saw our living room, and I think I saw that just to really understand the neighborhood, because our neighborhood is a normal, like a suburbs neighborhood, not as expensive as like they show on the TVs, but just normal, like middle class, normal folks. Okay. So this is not some rundown, okay, but this is also not some very high tea parties every day type of neighborhood. It's just a normal neighborhood. So that was telling me in my dream, this is a normal neighborhood. This is a normal neighborhood that they're living in. And they were heading towards their dining room table, and it was set. And at first, before they like started walking towards it, that's when I knew what they were feeling. And the reason why they were feeling that way was because they're about to take communion. And then that's when it was revealed in my spirit, like why, like in the dream, this was revealed to me in the dream, like why they were feeling this way. Because there had been a law that outlawed the law of the Gospel of John. If they did anything with the Gospel of John, then it would be out, like they would be persecuted like really badly. And so that's why the wife was super worried. But the husband, like, he was like, man, that sucks that, you know, they doing that. But I gotta worship God. I gotta follow God. I'm gonna follow God. And I knew that's how he felt. He was like bummed out, but I gotta do what the Lord told me to do. The table was set, and they were going to take communion at that table. So the wife saw how confident and strong her husband was, and she was like, okay, you know what, bet, we're just gonna do it. So she started to, you know, feel more relief. And then the daughter, because she was so carefree, she literally like just like skipped to the table like before they started even they started heading to it. He was like, yeah, let's go. And the daughter just like started skipping, and she like got to the table like super fast. And the brother, he saw his sister and saw how carefree she was, and he was like, okay, I'm good. So it's like they all like, I guess they all like bounced off each other and saw how carefree, not really carefree, like the daughter was carefree, and it was just like, well, she's not worrying. And then the husband, he was just, it is what it is. I gotta listen to God. I'm sorry, like I was bummed out that this is happening, but I gotta listen to God. And so it's like their emotions bumped off each other, and at the end of the day, like it was for the good, because they ended up doing what they were supposed to do. And they had blackout curtains, and I mean, it was easy to tell that it was blackout because there was a big old window there and there was no light coming through, so you can tell it's blackout curtains. And the table was set and everything like that, and it was just like, well, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta do what God told us to do, so we're gonna do it. And I just love that. I love that so much when people have that, like, you know, we're gonna do what God told us to do. We're gonna do it. And when I had first originally told my mom about the story, she told me about the story in Maccabean, which I am still reading. As we know from my testimony video, I am coming back to Christ, so Give me a second, I'll get there. But my mom did tell me the story about this woman in Maccabean and how she had like tons of sons, and all of her sons got killed by the Romans because she wouldn't worship their gods. And she had one son left. I think my mom said it was a little boy. One son left, and they were like, tell your mom to worship our gods or we're gonna kill you. I believe they said we're gonna kill you or kill her. First of all, before I get to what he said, the persecution that the Romans did were disgusting and just the worst things imaginable. I will just say one thing, but it's pretty bad. But I'm gonna say it because the Bible does say that we're gonna deal with the worse than that, and I want people to understand how bad this was. I'm sorry, so I wanted to add that I believe that we can definitely pray for protection. I already posted that video about praying for protection. So every single time I said we are going to go through that, I should have said some people might go through it and stuff like that, because I honest to God do believe that we can pray for protection. Like, you know, God can move mountains. So I believe like if there's like swarms of demons outside of your room, even he can just put a wall of protection over it and protect us. So I plan on attaching that video at the end of this. Hopefully I'll put it in the description box. But yes, we can definitely pray for protection. So yeah. But one of the torture things that they did is they would put rodents, rats, you know, first of all, those are unclean things, and they would put them up a female. And those of you who can't read between the lines, they would put them up a female, like up, you know, stuff. And then for guys, I think the same thing. I think my mom said the same thing, but I wouldn't put it past them. Like, they put it in females. I'm pretty sure they probably put it up guys, and these rodents were alive and they just like shoved them up in there. Now, first of all, that's a Maccabean area. I already know, like, for slavery, for slaves, I remember there was this one woman, like this years and years ago. She would chop up slaves while they were alive and cook she would chop up their arms and legs and burn the area and have them hung up, and would cook their limbs and eat it. She did that. And there's just tons of other stories out there. Like, if you haven't read Maccabean, there's Maccabean right there, about what the Romans did. And then we also have slavery. We have the concentration camps. But I honestly, for me, obviously, like, I relate more with the slavery stories and what happened there, and just knowing like what our ancestors went through. And the Bible says that we're going to go through way worse than anything that has ever been on this earth. And it's just awful, because like back in Jesus' days, like they were burnt alive. In the Roman days, well, obviously Jesus' days is the Roman days, but Maccabeans before Jesus' days. So like I said, in Maccabean days, they put rodents up them. In Jesus' days, they burnt the Christians alive. They probably did that too during the Maccabean. They did games. That was it. They did games and had tigers, lions, and bears come out and do things to them. Concentration camps, you know, they're forced to work and stuff. I'm sorry, I honestly don't really know the concentration camps that well, so it's hard for me to like really talk about that. But I do know slavery. And like I said, slavery, they cut them limbs to limbs. They would put things in their hair, just to do experiments on. Because a lot of people, when you think of slavery, you just think of, you know, picking cotton and that's it. But no, they were raped by their masters, and then they were also raped by their own dads, because the dads were going through so much and they were just upset and angry, and they just let it out in their family because they couldn't let it out in their masters. So wives were treated really, really bad. They were separated from family members. Like, do you have any idea how hard it is for African American to really, really go back in their lineage? It is hard. It is very, very hard. And even if you like find something saying something, like I remember finding out I was part Irish, like I pretty sure there's some family members in there who probably got thrown here and thrown there. They threw babies, it didn't matter, and stuff like that. And it's awful, because we're going to go through things that are way, way worse than that. Way worse than anything that's been on this earth. Okay, and like I said, with the little boy in the Maccabean story, I don't want to call it a story because it's real. So the Maccabean history, he told the Romans, I don't care what you do. I am going to worship my God. It's just out of the mouth of babes, guys. I'm sorry, like, it's really hard. I mean, like, now thinking about like what happened during slavery days, and then thinking about how we're going to go through way worse. And in my dream, the mom was terrified. She was terrified. I don't think I've ever felt that fear ever. And I've had some demonic dreams before, and I've seen some scary movies, okay? But the fear that lady had, it was great. And then the husband, he was like, I don't care. We're going to sit here and we're going to take communion, because that's what the Bible tells us to do. It's just, I don't want to end this on something sad, because normally I don't. But we need to be as strong as that boy in the story of Maccabean, okay? We need to be as strong as the guy in my dream. I know you guys can see him, but we gotta be as strong as him. But at the end of the day, honestly, we have to be as strong as Jesus. Because we know Jesus is God. He could have easily stopped his pain at any moment, but did he? No, because he was doing the will of God. So we have to too. I didn't expect this video to be this long, but it's important. It's very important. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not. I really am not. I'm just really trying to get you guys to understand. Really, really trying to get you to understand. And the thing is, honestly, recently, actually, I believe this is after slavery days, in other countries. I think they're still doing it in other countries. When ISIS came, it was a bunch of kids, and they told them straight up, I think it was worship our gods or something like that, or I know it had to do with Christianity. I know it did. And they were just like, you know, worship our God and all this stuff, or we're going to kill you. And these are little kids saying, no, we're not going to worship your God. We believe in Jesus. I believe that is what it was. I believe it was Christianity. I believe they said we're going to worship Jesus. And they killed these kids left and right. I remember seeing videos of it. I remember seeing dead kids, blood everywhere, just laying there. And then guess what? The people who denounced Jesus, the kids who denounced Jesus, were raped. Boys were dressed as little girls to be carried around and stuff like that. So it's like we're gonna go through way worse, and it's not just gonna be us Christians. It's gonna be you guys out there who are denouncing Christ. And for you guys who are denouncing Christ, not only are you gonna deal with that persecution, what's gonna happen when you die? Because hell is way, way worse than anything we could possibly go through. And that's eternal. You're not getting out of that. It's not a jail sentence. It's eternal. Okay? So if I have to deal with some persecution just a little bit, on this earth, if I have to deal with them putting rodents up my butt and cutting off an arm and eating me in front of me, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna pick up my cross and follow Jesus with it, because I'd rather deal with that than an eternal hell, being tormented by demons, and then even after being tormented by demons and like that, going into a ball of fire for even more eternity. Eternity is forever, so just, yeah, eternity. Just never leaving. Okay, I rather deal with that and not tasting death, because a Christian will not taste death. Okay, they'll deal with that and they'll feel like they want to die and everything like that, but they won't taste death, because death is hell. Okay, I rather deal with that than tasting death. I rather, you know, live forever in the glory of Jesus Christ and feel no pain for eternity. Okay, guys, so that's all I want to say. I really want you guys to just realize, like, this is going to happen. It's already happening in a lot of countries, honestly. A lot of Christians are being persecuted right now. A lot of Christians are in other countries are dealing with tribulation. The Bible is being snuck in. It's bad. It's really bad. In Canada, it just it was just lawed that anybody who talks bad about homosexuality or something like that, like I think it was homosexuality, and quotes the Bible, they have to say that it's a myth. And you may think, well, it's just a little bit, it's just, you know, just that's it. It's just say that it's a myth, but that's it. But there's going to be a time where we can't speak about Jesus at all. And like, she changed her name to God's Way, so I'm going to respect that. But God's Way, she had made a video about how she had a dream that this lady was looked at crazy for mentioning Jesus. Okay, so I think that's going to be one spot. We're going to be looked at crazy first for mentioning Jesus, and then it's going to be, you mention Jesus, you're going to be thrown into the slammer. And that has happened before. Back in the day, after Jesus died, they would be persecuted like crazy. If they mentioned Jesus, they had to go under the radar and you know, preach and pray and stuff like that. They had to draw a secret fish and all that stuff. And by the way, we should really come up with a new symbol, because obviously, like, the whole entire world knows about the fish. So hopefully, you know, we're gonna have something else secret to say. Maybe Jesus is Lord, because, you know, demons can't say that. But yeah, like, just like the dad in my dream, it's a bummer. It really sucks that there's people on this earth that evil. But we gotta do what we gotta do. God said do it, so we gotta do it. God say jump, we gotta jump. God say swim, swim. God say hop on one foot, you better hop on one foot. And if you can't balance, you better hold on to the wall, because baby, and even then, God say jump on one foot and you suck at balancing. With all things, with God, all things are possible. Okay, so you think it's hard, it will be possible. Have a nice one.